On your knees.
Okay, chop it off.
Chop it off. Let's do it.
Oh, we got him now!
You know what? I'm thinking there are probably sharper stairs somewhere else. We're thieves, but we help the wrong person steal the wrong thing and unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known.
The Red Wizards created an army of the undead.
Sounds lovely.
Quite the opposite.
I know, I was being ironic.
I find irony is a blade that cuts he who wields it most especially.
You're not a lot of fun, are you? How are we gonna pull this off?
We're gonna need a team.
You need cool air.
Follow me to the orifice.
Back to school air.
The orifice?
I'll go last.
Let's go.
I don't mind that. He missed.
No, that's not good. Aren't you sick of failing? We could die.
There's worse things than dying. I lost everything that ever mattered to me. And if we quit now, that's for nothing.
I don't want to see you die, which is why I'm going to leave the room.
This ends now.
The bridge is protected by an ancient trap. We must not trigger the mechanism.
I may have triggered the mechanism. So, sorry.
Started. Edgin is a bard. The bard is sharp. We have a plan D if plan C failed. He's charming and likable. Olga, I could kiss you.
Try it. Olga is a barbarian, lives to fight foes and everyone else. Luckily, you can't make her angry, because she's already angry.
Simon is a sorcerer, master of magic.
Perlamon Tergatis.
Maybe I'm not saying it.
Dorit is a druid. Changes shapes on the outside, but stays the same on the inside.
Zank is a paladin, a warrior Sophius, and he can afford to be polite.
Jankly to you as well, good sir.
He's interesting.
Forge is a rogue. Trust him once, shame on you.
Keep her safe. You have my word.
Trust him twice.
I don't want to see you die, which is why I'm going to leave the room.
Let's go.
And then we have the Red Wizard. Powerful and ruthless. The last face you want to see. And now you are ready to go out and see Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves.
He must have found a new den.
Did he eat the last one?
We're gonna need a team.
You don't have to know anything about Dungeons & Dragons to get into this story.
The characters are a group of petty thieves.
We help the wrong person steal the wrong thing. We didn't mean to unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known, but we're gonna fix it.
I'm a con man. I team up with Safina, who's a dreaded Red Wizard.
Red Wizards created an army of the undead to conquer the nation. Such immense evil, and they are so incredibly powerful.
You know not the scope of my power.
It's an amazing thing to have these bandits coming together, trying to save the world.
It's pretty badass.
It's a hero's journey of good against evil.
This ends now.
whatever happens, we'll be ready.
We wanted to sort of not spoof the genre in any way, really embrace it and show our affection for it, but bring characters to life within the genre who are themselves relatable, people who feel like they could have been friends of yours or people who are in your adventuring party if you play Dungeons and Dragons. Imperfect people with humor and flaws.
And what's so natural about approaching it from a somewhat comedic perspective is the fact that when you're playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons, there's always humor involved.
What drew me to this whole world is really the spirit of D&D, which is imagination and creativity and positivity and cooperation and basically having fun. And I think what John and Jonathan were able to do is capture the spirit of that, of the camaraderie of playing with a group of friends, like I saw with my nephew, who loves to play and has been playing with the same group of pals for 6 years. So I was really interested in kind of like the gospel, so to speak, of Dungeons and Dragons, which is the spirit of play and creativity.
We tried to delve into what's the most emotional journey we can kind of devise for each of these people. They're all, as I said, flawed.
The emotional component to us is absolutely crucial to nail down. Because otherwise, as funny as a character can be, if you don't really care about them, what they say doesn't matter.
I had never played the game before. I was sent the script, and my nephew, who is a big D&D player and has written his own campaigns and drawn his own maps and played with the same group of kids for many years, sat my whole family down and coached us through a 3-hour session of D&D. So I got to play with my whole family, had a great time, and then when I got to Belfast, where we shot our film, the whole cast sat down and we got a chance to play as our characters, which was a lot of fun and helped to foster the relationships between us all.
Yeah, it was really cool.
We sort of came up with a direction that hadn't been in the script in talking to Chris Pine prior to shooting it. This notion that he's sort of this unflappable, positive energy coach, like we talked about the coach of the Bad News Bears a little bit. No matter how much goes wrong, he's just going to keep pushing them to do what they have to do. And that really defined who Edgin became in the movie.
He has trouble tapping into any kind of real earnest emotions himself, so that when he's finally confronted with them, basically coming to terms with the mistakes that he's made, you understand why it's so difficult for him to actually reach that point as a character.
I think what John and Jonathan have done so well with this iteration of Dungeons and Dragons is that, at least for me, being an 80s baby, it reminds me of all the great, wonderful qualities of 80s films. It has a bit of The Princess Bride, it has a bit of Goonies. It manages to wrap up all of these different tones and colors into one really joyful film. And it is about, it's a classic hero's journey, hero quest, about a bunch of misfits that are trying to do better and be better.
We also wanted to definitely pay our respects to the fans and what they wanted out of this type of movie. So we went through the list of some of the most iconic monsters and creatures and really tried our damnedest to embrace as many of them as we could. We want to give them the D&D movie that they've been hoping for this whole time.
I hope that this movie really is for everybody, because we try to approach it as we do all our movies. It's just a great sort of adventure with some characters that you're going to care about and hopefully love by the end of the movie.
And I think that is the ultimate challenge, and that's the ultimate hurdle that we want to hopefully pull off, is attracting people that would never go and see a Dungeons and Dragons movie. Hopefully they hear through word of mouth that like it isn't just a total nerd fest. There are a lot of elements to it, and hopefully people will be surprised in that sense.
We're facing the greatest evil the world has ever known. We're gonna need a team.
out over a drink?
Probably best. Dungeons and Dragons.